Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Live with Mel. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump's impeachment trial begins today. Now, we have been going back and forth, debating on whether the trial is constitutional, whether there'll be enough Republicans to vote him to find him guilty, and many other things. But the day has finally come for the Senate impeachment trial hearing. And today, Donald Trump will have to deal with the fact that he is being impeached again and he must stand trial again, which again begins today. Now, the trial begins today at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So directly after the show, the trial will begin. Now, this trial is going to be slightly different from other trials because the first part of the debate. So once the Senate is called together and the trial begins, the first 4 hours of this debate, the first 4 hours of this trial will be the senators debating whether or not this impeachment trial is constitutional. Now, again, Donald J. Trump is the first president to be facing the music after he has left office. He was impeached while he was still in office, but now the trial's happening while he's out of office. And again, many people are saying that now that he's out of office, the trial itself is pointless, but many people say the point is to hold President Trump accountable for the actions and the words that he used prior to the Capitol riots. Now, the first 4 hours of this trial is going to be a debate on whether this is constitutional, and this will determine whether or not the trial will continue. This will determine whether or not they can continue moving forward, because after the 4-hour debate of whether it's constitutional or whether it's not constitutional, the next thing that's going to happen is that there will be a vote. And after that vote, it needs to be a simple majority. So very simple majority. It doesn't have to be 2/3. It needs to be a simple majority of senators need to vote whether it's constitutional or not. And if they vote today that it is constitutional, then the trial can continue. So again, today, the first 4 hours is going to be a debate whether this is constitutional. Then there'll be a vote. And from that vote, we will see whether the trial will move forward or whether the trial is going to end because people believe that it's unconstitutional. Now, again, many people believe that the trial is constitutional, and many people are also assuming from the last vote whether it was unconstitutional that there will be enough Republicans to vote on whether or not to vote say that it is constitutional for this trial to move forward. Now, altogether, people are assuming this is going to be a very quick and speedy trial. Many people believe that this is going to be something that is maybe takes a week, maybe 2 weeks, but they want it to be a very quick and speedy trial to get things moving forward. But again, it really does depend on the evidence. It depends on what's going on. Now, one of the other things that they have to vote on prior to starting the trial is the rules of the trial. And it's looking as though each side will have 16 hours to argue their case. So they'll have 16 hours to present evidence. They'll have 16 hours to present their case. They will have 16 hours to prove whether or not Donald Trump is guilty or whether Donald Trump is innocent. So again, they're setting this up to be a smooth and easy and quick trial. No one wants to see this drag on. But again, we will see what happens. Now, one of the things that's very interesting that has just come out is that Democrats are saying that they have new evidence. Now, I know Graham was saying that he doesn't want any witnesses coming in, and I don't know what form the new evidence is going to be, but Democrats are saying that they have new evidence that they're going to present at trial that no one has ever seen or heard before. So that's one thing that Democrats have come out and said. Now, again, this trial begins at 1 p.m. today, and many people have been debating this time and time and time again. This is something that we have been talking about. This is something that we have been debating, and it's finally happening today at 1 p.m. So right after this broadcast, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, senators will come together to see whether or not Donald Trump is innocent or guilty. Now, it looks as though Republicans are quite comfortable with this going through because they know that they need 2/3 majority vote in order to find Donald Trump guilty. And while people are saying that there's enough votes to hold the trial, there's enough votes to say that this is going to be constitutional, many people are predicting that there's not going to be enough votes to find Donald Trump guilty, no matter what evidence is presented. Now, when we go to polls around the country, like the CBS poll, we're seeing that the majority of Americans do want to see Donald Trump found guilty. They want him to think about, I think it's about 53 to 56% of the American population. So again, a very, very slight majority wants to see President Trump found guilty. But again, that slight majority isn't what's going to happen in Congress. Now, there are rumors coming out that many people in Congress are going to vote Donald Trump, especially Republicans, Donald Trump innocent no matter what evidence is presented, because their loyalty lines up with Trump, because they know that they're aligning themselves with Trump, and they know that their base aligns themselves with Trump, to the point where many Republicans are saying that they would break away with the GOP to go under Trump's new party if Trump started a party. There are Republicans that are saying that if Trump were today to start a party, his very own political party, that there'd be people who would fall in line. And because of things like this, we're seeing that even though there may be a lot of evidence presented, even though people may bring in witnesses, even though there'll be brand new evidence presented, no matter what is said, Republicans are going to fall in party line and vote to find Donald Trump innocent. Now, again, this is all speculation. We'll see what happens during the trial. So, guys, what are your thoughts about everything happening during this trial? Again, the trial is going to start with the debate. So it's going to be about 4 hours of debating whether or not this trial is constitutional. And then from there, there'll be a vote, and then the trial can proceed if the votes come in that it is constitutional. Now, as we're seeing with Trump and Trump's lawyers, it looks as though Trump's defense is going to primarily focus on the fact that he was using his First Amendment rights to say things that he wants to say in regards to the election. It looks as though Trump's defense is going to focus on two things: that he was using his First Amendment right, and again, that he should not be found guilty because of using his First Amendment right, and that it's unconstitutional. It looks like a huge bulk of Trump's actual defense is going to be that this trial itself is unconstitutional. Now, why is Trump really leaning heavy on this defense? And why is Trump's legal team really leaning heavy on this defense that it's unconstitutional? And that's because Donald Trump is no longer the seated president. He is now out of office, and he no longer has the ability to rule the nation. He's no longer president. But he was impeached while he was still in office. It's just that the trial is happening while he's out of office. And they're stating, according to Trump's team, that because he is now out in office, the impeachment trial should not happen. So that's something that they're going to be leaning very, very, very heavily on. Now, some Democratic aides have come out and said it is not about politics. Now, I know politics is something that we are very, very divided about in this country. We do fall on the left or the right on many, many different issues. The country is very divided at this moment, and it's a split that started a while ago. The country is torn in two, and you're either one side or the other side. You're either red or blue, Democrat or Republican. We know that this country is torn. But one aide came out and said, as they were talking to reporters, that this is not about politics. It's about the serious issue of holding President Trump accountable. And that was a direct quote, that it's a serious issue of holding President Trump accountable. And at the end of the day, it looks as though the purpose of this trial is to hold President Trump accountable. Now, again, we need to see what's going on. And many people believe that this trial should happen. Like I said before, when you see polls that were done around the country, a slight majority of Americans believe that Donald Trump should be found guilty because they believe that he did incite the Capitol riots. And the thing about it is, even though it's a slight majority, in the nation that thinks he's going to be accountable, we need more than a slight majority. So a slight majority of people can believe it. A slight majority of senators can believe it. But at the end of the day, to find Trump guilty, of all of this, it needs to be 2/3 majority. And the Congress just doesn't have those votes. And even if you look at what the American people believe, and we were to go by the court of public opinion, there's still not enough votes in the court of public opinions. So while this thing may be symbolic, while trying to hold President Donald J. Trump accountable may be largely symbolic, the votes just aren't there. I don't know what evidence the Democrats could bring in to sway Republicans who are essentially just falling on party lines. Now, again, the trial is going to begin by debating whether this is constitutional. And they have the votes. They have the votes to continue the trial. And in a sense, it's looking at though this entire trial just may be symbolic. Because Congress does not have 2/3 majority vote in order to find President Trump guilty. They just don't. But they do have enough votes to continue the trial after this 4-hour debate and then a vote to see whether it's constitutional. So again, what do you guys think? Do you guys believe that this trial, that Donald Trump's impeachment trial, which is happening today, is largely symbolic? Do you guys think it's just something to show that Congress is trying to hold him accountable? Or do you think that it's necessary? Do you guys believe that this trial itself is necessary to hold people accountable? Or do you believe that it's a waste of time because there's no way that they're going to get the majority votes they need? Go ahead and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now, again, the trial is set to begin today at 1 p.m. So right after this broadcast, in a few minutes, I'm going to end this broadcast pretty soon because the trial is set to begin in a few minutes. So the trial is set to begin at 1 p.m. And the way that it's going to go is, first, they're going to vote on the rules. Then they're going to have a 4-hour debate to see whether this is constitutional. And then they'll have a vote to see whether it's constitutional or not. And then from there, we can see whether the trial will begin or whether the trial will end right there after the 4 hours. Because there is a possibility that the trial could end, because if they vote that it's unconstitutional, then there's no way of really moving forward. So Joanna says, so the senators are turning their eyes away from all the evidence that the entire world witnessed on January 6th. So they decided to do whatever it takes to keep the Republican Party on top instead of protecting and serving the American people they were sworn to serve. Now, end of the day, we really do know that politicians will fall in party line. And it takes a lot. It really does take a lot for a politician to break away from party lines. And right now, it's looking though party lines is stating that Donald Trump should not be found guilty. Now, there are many Republicans who are willing to say that this trial is constitutional and that it should happen. But again, I don't think there's enough Republicans to break party line. And no matter what evidence is presented, no matter what the Democrats bring, even with this new evidence that they're talking about, because again, Democrats are stating that they have brand new evidence that no one has heard or seen before. And I don't know in what medium they're going to bring this evidence in, but they're stating that they have evidence that will show that Donald Trump is guilty, but no one has seen it or heard it before because this is brand new information that they found. But again, even if this new evidence really does show that Donald Trump is completely and utterly guilty, I don't think there's enough votes. I do not believe that enough Republicans will break from party lines in order to say whether President Trump is guilty. Now, again, that's just the way that American politics happens in this country, is that no matter what happens, people fall into line. And again, this country is very much divided. You're either left or right, red or blue. This country definitely has a line split down the middle. And no matter what evidence is presented, whether it's for or against Donald Trump, people are going to believe what they believe at this moment. And I don't think there's any swaying people either way. So guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys think about the debates that are about to happen in a few minutes. So about 11 minutes, the debates are going to begin. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off so you guys can go ahead and watch the actual trial if you guys want to. If you guys don't want to watch the actual trial, then I will actually be talking about it tonight on tonight's episode of the Power Hour Panel Talk, where we get together and talk about it. So it's not going to be a full discussion about the trial, but we will talk about it in one of the segments. And then Joanna also says, in this case, it's not about the party line. It's about the American people. Our Constitution came under attack. And as much as we feel this way, I do believe that it's really going to fall onto party lines, unfortunately. So guys, let me know. The debate starts. So the trial starts in about 10 minutes. So let me know what you guys think. And again, thank you so much for tuning in today. And then one more comment. Where did that comment go? Oh, that's my grandmother. She tunes in every single day. So thank you so much, Grandma, for being a supporter. Just have a blessed day, darling. Thank you. Love you too. And then thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Let me know what you think, whether it's live, whether it's in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. But let me know what you guys think, because your opinions are important. Whether we agree or whether we disagree, it doesn't change the fact that your opinions are important. At the end of the day, we have to be able to have these conversations in order to move this country forward. We need to be able to have these conversations without arguing, without yelling. So I want to have the conversations with you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead and write in. Let me know what you think. I do go back and comment on the comment that you guys comment on. Let me know what you think. And again, whether we agree, whether we disagree, whether we see things completely differently, that's okay. Because at the end of the day, your opinion matters. My opinion matters. All of our opinion matters as long as it's based in fact. And we should be able to talk about it and show our difference of opinions. And then Joanna gives a thumbs up. So guys, thank you so much. And if you like this show, you'll like my other show as well. And you can watch it on Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire. And that is The Mel Show. So go ahead, download the Easy Way channel on Apple TV or Roku TV and watch the entire season 1. Season 2 is coming out pretty soon. So guys, thank you so much. And I will see everyone tonight. Have a great day. And let me know what you guys think about the trial.